Yo, what is up, YouTube, man? We're talking about the top 3 best center builds in NBA 2K25. A lot of people have made this video, but a lot of people did it earlier in the year where 2K was still patching the game. We're in Season 4, 2K is not touching the gameplay anymore, and on top of that, I got a lot of experience playing on all types of centers, in all types of game modes, in all types of playstyles. So my insight is quite a bit different than a lot of players on this game. As you guys can see, we're going to start out with a 7-footer max wingspan popper, and this build is the safest big you can go with. You guys can see this video is made in mind with people having 8 cap breakers, plus 5 from the starter 3, and then the plus 3 we get every season. So if you add plus 5 to the 94 offensive rebound, that's going to give you 99 O-board legend rebound chaser, and then use the last plus 3 on the pass act to get that to 93 for the Hall of Fame break starter. If you do not have cap breakers, that's fine. Just lower your pass act to say 87 and put that on offensive rebound to get it to a 99. 94 is good, but you definitely want to have the legend rebound chaser as a big. The most important thing you can do on NBA 2K25 is rebound the ball. You guys can see when it comes to the rest of the defense, solid perimeter, solid steal. A lot of people go low perimeter on a big, but you're not going to get great contests that way, and you do need to stop three-pointers and be able to help out on the pick and roll, especially too if you're playing in things like random rec. If you have a back end, it's not that big of a deal, but you still want to be able to get contests on people shooting in the corner. When it comes to the block, now a lot of people go 84 block, 70 interior for that paint patroller, but that's not the way to go. You want to have at least 82 interior defense. That's going to get you stops in the paint. 78 block is plenty, get you that high flying denier on silver. You don't really even want to block the shot that often. You'd rather just get the stop in the paint. You guys can see when it comes to the shooting, 74 3, 80 mid-range. Now you could go one tick down on the wingspan to get the 75 three-pointer. That's going to get you some sharp shooting takeovers, but for the most part, people do not really care about the takeovers in this game, and they'd rather have the max wingspan on their big. The finishing, very standard, 90 standing dunk. Now I see a lot of people go, 65 driving dunk, go lower on the driving. You want to have a higher driving dunk. I definitely recommend 73 or 75. That's going to get you more dunk packages, and if you're ever going to the hoop, somebody hits you on the pick and roll, you don't want to just be able to standing dunk. You want to be able to hit the driving dunk, get a good animation at that as well. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. You can see in the dunk style creator. Once we go to the player animations, dunk packages like Giannis, Ben Simmons, Karl Anthony Towns, Sabonis, you're not going to be able to get them if you just go the minimum driving dunk. A lot of people do like 65, and I am a believer that having more dunks on your big is going to get you more dunks in the paint. You're going to see example of that later on in the video in some gameplay. Going for the next build, this is going to be the 7-foot inside, and yes, all these builds are 7 foot. It's the best height for a big in NBA 2K25. Now you can still make other heights, it's just not going to be exactly meta. It's not going to be the best possible center build you can make, and that's fine. You guys can see with the inside, we're going 95 strength to get that Hall of Fame brick wall. Now you could go 96 for the legend box out, but it is a bit expensive, and in my experience, you don't really need the legend box out. As long as you got the Hall of Fame and the 95 strength, you're going to get boxes very easily. It's very similar to the shooting 7-footer we just saw. Same in the rebounding, the defense, the pass act. But the biggest difference is we ended up going 89 driving dunk. You can't shoot on this build, so you want to be able to be the best pick and roller possible. Having that 89 driving dunk is going to do that for you. Now you could go lower on the driving dunk and go, say, 99 defensive rebound, 99 offensive rebound. But in my opinion, and you'll see in some gameplay today, having those contact driving dunks makes you a threat on the roll. Having 75, you're going to get some good dunk animations, but people will still be able to knock you out of it and get contests. But with 89 driving dunk, that is a bit of a different story. 89 is going to give you the pro contacts off 2 and the pro contacts off 1. Now, in general, a lot of people do not like playing with inside bigs, and I think if you're newer to 2K, it's definitely better to go with one of these shooting bigs. But if you're an elite center, if you got a lot of IQ, that's really what it comes down to. You know when to slip, you know when to hold the screen. And if you're somebody that just isn't really a shooter, I'll see a lot of people make shooting centers, but they don't actually shoot the ball that much. They might get 2 or 3 shots a game. You could definitely be more effective going with the higher strength just to be a better screen setter, having the higher driving dunk to be a better pick and roller. And let's be honest, man, maybe you just have bad Wi-Fi, maybe you're just not a good shooter. That is a great center option for you. Now, for the last one, this is a bit more of a post-score. This is more of a tonic build. Now, we still made it in a way that is a comp meta center, as you guys saw. We lowered the wingspan a bit. We got that 85 mid-range for the Deadeye on silver, but also we lower the standing dunk. Still enough to get standing contact dunks, but nothing crazy, so we can get that 79 post control, so we can start doing fades. We can start doing dribble pull-ups more because we got the higher midi. You guys can see close shot is a little bit better, nothing too crazy, but other than that, we still got the 93 pass act once we put the +3 there. We still got the 99 O board once we put the +5 there. We are missing a few attributes on the defensive rebound. That's just the way it goes when you try to make a build like this that can do a bit of everything. I also put 80 block on this build. You get more defensive takeovers whenever you get 80 block if you want to add 2 attributes to that. Like I said, not a lot of people care about the takeovers, but I am actually somebody that does enjoy using a bunch of different takeovers with the abilities, with the attributes they boost. Now, the first 2 centers you saw in this video, that is more for the average 2K player and for the way that most players play the game. If you're somebody that watches a lot of my content and then you do find yourself liking to play like me, maybe you like doing a lot more dribble pull-ups, post fades, post hop shots, you like being more of a shooter, more of a scorer, having, you know, just more of a bag to get crafty, to find ways to get buckets. This is a great option for you while still being able to play the same way that the other centers do. You guys can see once we go 81 standing dunk, we do lose out on one of the standing dunk packages in the elite big man contact dunks, but when it comes to a lot of these dunk packages, you still get a lot of the good ones. Giannis, Ben Simmons, Dwight Howard, Shaq. You also are missing out on one of the big contact alley-oop animations, so you're giving up a little bit, but you're gaining post scoring, you're gaining more shooting. Those are the top 3 meta center builds for NBA 2K25. Now, all of that being said, I'm going to show you guys some gameplay on a couple of centers that I have that are completely out of the normal. You guys see, I'm on a 7'1" slasher, 7'9" wingspan. I got that 75-3, so I can get some of those sharpshooting takeovers. Now, my idea when making this build is I wanted to be as tall as possible and still get driving contact dunks. 7'1" is that. You can see the 87 driving. I put my +5 on the 95 standing so I could get that JaVale McGee dunk package. I would not recommend this build for you guys if you're trying to have the best center in the game. This is more of a fun build. I had to go light on the weight, so the strength is not that great. My rebounding is not as high as the other builds, and having legend rebound chaser like most people would want. Now, all of that being said, I absolutely love playing on that build. I'm going into the random rec, and you guys are going to see how crazy this build can do, especially with the dunks, man. There is nothing like it. The taller you are on this game, the more dunks you're going to get, in my experience, and having 72 speed on a 7'1" feels kind of glitchy. You can see right here, first dunk of the game. Of course, I'm going to use the dunk meter. Now, you're going to see me do that a lot in these clips. Is it necessary? No, but with the high driving dunk ratings on this build, you can definitely green the meter dunk pretty much every single time. You guys can see I'm boxing out, I'm getting boards. The low strength, the lower rebound chaser, a lot of the times I'm going up against bigs that have the advantage, or should have the advantage on box outs, but I'm still able to get the board. You can see I just run in front of him, pump fake, go up with a meter dunk. Now, he's not even there to contest it, so that looks like it was a contact dunk, but it wasn't so much. That was just good positioning by me. This build is probably the most fun I have on all of my center builds. Now, I got one more gameplay on a completely different build at the end of this video. You're going to see that is so much fun as well. But just being able to dunk the ball like a man every single time I have it is just... it's fun, man. That's why we play 2K. You guys can see I'm bringing the ball down court. I'm making the right passes. Even if they miss, I'm grabbing the offensive rebound. And I'm not going to lie, you know, I take a quick look to see if anybody's open. But if I have good position for a putback dunk, I'm going for it. That's what this build does. You can see a little bit of a head of steam dunk meter, 87 driving. If there's a situation where maybe they are on my hip, if you have lower driving dunk, you might not get a dunk animation to pop off. But with 87, that's not something you have to worry about. You guys can see a little dot right here. I'm using the Magic Johnson pass style in this video as well. I'm going to make a video on it. It's kind of trolling the half court, but the passes do look cool. At the half, 14 points, 13 rebounds. I actually have 4 steals on this build. Only 60 steal. Nothing crazy, but the long wingspan and just good, you know, intuition. If I know they're going to throw it, I time it at the right time. You guys can see he leaves me open. 75 three-pointer. You can knock down every shot if you got your jump shot down, especially with lethal zones, especially once you get the badges. You can see right here, X going to the corner. I am trying to just chuck it up court, but the team we're going against is actually getting back pretty well, so I got to be a little bit patient, and as long as I make the right pass, my teammates are not going to get too mad at me for holding the ball. Now, it's a different case if I wasn't passing getting up, they would probably call the timeout. You guys can see 22 points, 20 rebounds. The build fits the way I like to play so much. Now, there are other builds where I play the exact opposite as I do compared to this build. When I'm on this build, I mean, look at this, man. It's beautiful basketball, pick and roll. He hits me. I get a dunk and one. Check this out right here. I got my slashing takeover. I kind of brush him off. He jumps. I waited out. Go up with the standing dunk. And that's all she wrote for this game. You guys can see we end up kind of giving the lead up a bit toward the end. It's way too close. In the random wreck, people will just leave people standing still open for three, so no lead is safe. If you can get a 20, 30 point lead, definitely do that because the lead can be trolled away in the snap of the fingers. I've seen it one too many times. One more gameplay for you guys, and this is another build that is the exact opposite of what I showed in the beginning, and a build that I do not recommend because this is not meta, but it's another center build that fits the way I like to play. Minimum wingspan 6'9". You see I got an 86.3, 93 mid-range. The rebounding is actually the same as my 7'1 slasher. The defense does not look good at all. 74 blocks, 7 interior. For the most part, that's not going to get it done. But I made this build for offense, and what I do on defense is I just play very smart. I use good positioning to give me advantage over centers that are going to be taller than me, have longer arms than me, have more strength than me. Even though this build, 86 strength, is definitely not that bad. In my opinion, for centers, I mean, you can get away with a lot. You can get away with a 6'7" center if you're a good player. You can get away with having a super slow 7'3" center if you're a good player. It's not like in other 2Ks where having a certain type of build just makes you completely unplayable. Right here, you guys see starting off with the mid-range, getting the offensive rebound, dotting my teammate. Now on my 7'1" slasher, that's probably a putback dunk. But on this build, you can see it's going to be a lot more get the ball, run, fade, shoot threes. And I'm a bit more mobile on this build, the higher steal, the higher perimeter, so I can definitely help out a bit better in pick and rolls, be able to play lanes. You can see teammate dots me right here. I run to the free throw line, shoot the Pro 2 fade. You're never missing that with the 94 mid-range. I'm even able to get a nice block right here, you know. 74 block, it's not great, but it's doable. I'm not a black hole on defense. You guys can see right here, 2-8 tenacity, catch the ball, shoot the Devin Booker hop jumper. This build has some of my favorite animations in the game. Kobe post hop, Devin Booker hop jumper. I love the Pro 2 fade as well. A lot of the big man post scoring animations, they're not as good as they were in previous 2Ks because of these height caps. But obviously, having height is still important. If it wasn't, then you would see in Pro-Am teams running 6'8", 6'9", 6'7" centers. But everyone's running a 7-footer. Some teams are running 7'1s. You guys can see at the half. 12 points, 6 rebounds. 4 of those are offensive rebounds. A very close game to start it off. Teammate dots me in the corner. Run, fade. That's going to be pretty much impossible for a center defending me to get a contest on. They'll have to jump, and at that, maybe somebody on my team's able to get an offensive rebound because of that. It's a strategy that we've used in Pro-Am for many years playing with Laker fan. You can see right there, inbounding the ball, wide open in the corner. On a center with max wingspan, I want to shoot the ball whenever they leave me wide open. On a build like this, I don't need to be wide open, and I'm not just trying to shoot the ball if I'm open. I'm trying to make myself open. I'm trying to run around. I'm trying to take a difficult shot. The more shots I can get on this build, the better. Look at this, man. I mean, just catch it. It was a bit of a handoff. Run, fade, 21 points, 16 rebounds on a 6'9" center. Slithering my way to the right spot to get the board. Running out to the corner for a 3.
There you go.
So I guess the final thoughts, man, those are the best 3 center builds in the game, but if you want to make something that fits your playstyle, you can definitely make it work. If you guys did enjoy the video, if you do want to drop a like, subscribe, of course, I do appreciate it a ton. Let me know if you guys want to see a video like this for power forwards, locks, anything like that. And other than that, man, this is Tonic. I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.